Well, hey, everybody. You're streaming Rerun It Back. Minimally produced, over-caffeinated dialogue about a three-channel world. And yes, the world used to consist of three channels. I'm Jack,
I'm Scott.
and this week we are continuing, kind of ending actually, our shallow deep dive into national television ads from the 70s, 80s, and if warranted, the 90s. And I think we found ourselves having a wealth of material when it comes to commercials. So while we're going to kind of end this little month of commercial talk, it is by no means over in general. We will be revisiting it from time to time. So I'm going to let Scott take it from here because he wants to talk to me about a certain retailer.
Yes. Well, Jack, as a Gen Xer, you will remember what Sears was. But for all of you out there who do not remember what Sears was, imagine Walmart, but way bigger, no groceries, but things like furniture and getting your car fixed and all this, right? But it's not in your hometown. You have to drive to a shopping mall that maybe so it becomes event shopping. This was once upon a time Sears. I don't know about you. I spent a vast amount of time of my childhood wandering the aisles of like Sears while my father looked at Craftsman tools, Die Hard batteries, and my mom, sized me up for Toughskins jeans. It was an amazing place.
Yeah, and really, I mean, to be honest, I mean, they had some house brands that were decent. I mean, Craftsman has
Hey,
decent
10 more
reputation.
appliances.
10 more appliances.
Absolutely. But
absolutely.
But the other thing is like it was very middle brow at the same time. It's like no one was feeling real hip in their Toughskins jeans, for example.
Well, tell me this: where was the Sears that you all went to? Was it like
that
the
would be
suburbs or?
That would be at St. Clair Square in Fairview Heights, Illinois.
Okay.
That was our Sears of choice, but it was probably a good 30 miles from where we grew up. So, this was a family event.
We had a Sears in my hometown of about 5,000 at the time. This is in Northwest Missouri. And it was not necessarily a Sears in the sense of the mall. It was almost like the place where you'd order stuff from the catalog.
Yes,
and
catalog.
That's where, it was a catalog outlet.
Yes, we had one for J.C. Penney's. It was amazing. Yes, this is like something like I try to describe to people. Like even with our generation, it was kind of dying out. But it's like, okay, you remember the Sears catalog? I've heard of it. Okay, so you can conceptualize that. Imagine you have the option, instead of like writing away or calling or going to you can go to a little hole in the wall store off Main Street with a catalog outlet, and they might have a dozen different products on display, but it's basically a bunch of catalogs, maybe some telephones leading to the Sears headquarters, maybe a live person who can help you place your order. It was a different era. It was a different era.
And really quickly, before we get into the meat of this, I'll just say shout out to the Sears Wish Book. Really, yeah.
Yes, I mean, childhood Christmases, at least when we were growing up, where you waited to get that, and then you cawed through it, and maybe even cut out the pictures. I wanted the $6 Million Man doll and a new Matchbox car thing, and I had a pair of Toughskins jeans because I don't have them in burnt orange yet. It was an era.
It was an era, and there was a certain spokesmodel who signed a rather lucrative deal with them. Tell me about a certain spokesmodel.
Okay, so before I get to that, we have to kind of like go back in time again. When Sears was really kind of at the peak of its game, maybe post-peak, but they saw Walmart and Target coming for them. No, I'm serious. It's like, wow.
No, I believe you. I mean,
And so they're
I
like,
hear you.
we have got to appeal to a younger audience and we have to appeal to a wider audience. So Sears went into credit cards. Yes, Sears gave us the Discover card. Sears bought Dean Witter, the brokerage. They bought Coldwell Banker, a real estate firm. It
What?
was weird. Yeah. I mean, they were like trying to really branch out. And at the same time, they're like, okay, we have to like try to make our clothing line hipper to appeal to a younger demographic. So enter Cheryl Tiegs. Sears was like, we want to do a line of designer clothing with you, Miss Former swimsuit model, supermodel, etc. And she says yes. And Sears was like, okay, well, we also need a line of athletic wear. We're going to call up this Australian tennis pro named Yvonne Goolagong, and we have to appeal to guys. So Arnie Palmer. Okay, perfect. But mainly it was Cheryl Tiegs. And they leaned into this hard. I think over a 10-year span, it grossed or netted like $1 billion, some ridiculous amount of money for Sears. The commercials, though, are just really something to behold because, okay, so Cheryl Tiegs is a model and she's blonde and she's slim and attractive. But you would see this one commercial where she's like, bouncing around, and every so often she's looking at you and she'd like cock one shoulder, just one. And then she'd kind of smile and she'd go on. And, it's like she's wearing a sweater thrown around her neck, or she's wearing a polo top, or she's wearing, like a nicely cut blouse and her hands are just, and it doesn't matter. Cocks the shoulder. Hey, okay. She goes on. And so these were just kind of these amazing commercials from the 80s. And if you get really deep into the YouTube archives, there is a summer teleshop video, which I think was like a corporate video produced for maybe regional. I don't know. It was something, but it went in depth with the whole Cheryl Tiegs line of clothing, and they made a lot of clothing. The background music is kind of like smooth jazz, and Luther Vandross did the vocals.
What?
Yes. You cannot mistake Luther Vandross's voice.
Wait, so is this the one where so we're going to put the links to certain commercials that Scott is referencing. Is this the one where she's wearing all white?
No, that's not one. That was a TV commercial. This one was, no, wait a minute. Is it? Maybe she's on a set.
She's walking around and there's
on a set. She's at a photo shoot.
Okay, this is a different one.
No. This is like a 10-minute commercial, not like a TV commercial. Anyhow, that's something to behold because she like spends the whole time talking and walking with her hands in her pockets. It's amazing. But anyhow, yeah. So the Cheryl Tiegs ads, just popped collars, the sweaters around the shoulders, khaki slacks, everything's, tennis shorts. We can't forget that. Designer jeans, and that shoulder shrug. It just, and then I said, then if you want to like get even deeper, you can go get the Yvonne Goolagong line of sportswear. There's a lot of, and they're all like leaping in the air and like running track things. And there's some balloons, and then there's more leaping and jumping. It's very athletic and a lot more velour.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here. Why Cheryl Tiegs? Okay, real.
She was a hot, she was a hot supermodel at the time.
And it's like.
Well, Cheryl Tiegs was also from Minnesota, and Sears was going for that wholesome thing.
Yeah, they were going for like a girl next door vibe.
Right.
She seemed like she seems like a fine American. She was cute. She was the
non-threatening one. She was the
non-threatening one.
Like there's another Cheryl Tiegs ad where like she's walking into a Sears from a mall, and like she's bopping around and she passes some young guy and she tousles him on the head and she keeps on going. He turns to the camera like, wow, I just saw Cheryl Tiegs at the mall going to a Sears, which, okay. It was
the one era. The one with her wearing like white that's basically a close-up of her butt the whole time.
Yes.
And there's a lot of these creepy business guys on their lunch break.
Yes, this is all these guys like top phones. Yeah, it's like Cheryl Tiegs walking around looking sexy.
Yeah, it was a lot of, a lot of Gordon Gecko types hanging out at,
The 80s.
al fresco dining, and here's Cheryl T's walking by, and then, oh wow, and then there was like the trombone at the end of it, which was pretty funny.
And
But
the thing is,
yeah.
this was being sold at Sears. And Sears was very middlebrow. The cool kids in my school were not shopping at Sears. They got polos and they got Izods. I got
Well, here,
Sears.
yeah, and that was right. But let's talk about that a little bit. So in 1980, she launched her signature line of clothing. This is per Wikipedia, which is, the final authority on this. This was the first retail venture by a supermodel. And the Cheryl Tiegs collection,
Yes.
it neared $1 billion. This is per Wikipedia, which I have no reason to doubt it. Neared $1 billion in sales by 1989. She was credited with helping the retail chain's 1980s turnaround, and once again appeared on the cover of Time, this time for a cover story titled, and I kid you not, Sassy Sears.
Because when I think of Sears, I also think sassy. Doesn't everybody?
She strikes me as the kind of person, she would walk into a room and she'd smile and say hello, and then she'd walk off. She's still alive, still alive. Shout out to Cheryl Tiegs, 78, 78 years young. And she was also in the Vincent Gallo movie, The Brown Bunny, which Roger Ebert declared one of the worst movies ever made, I think. Anyway, that's beside the point. The thing is, she basically helped Sears. She turned around Sears more than Coldwell Banker ever
No,
did,
I mean,
I guess.
in a Sears managed to live on fine until I'd say maybe the aughts.
Yeah.
But at that point, certainly after 9/11, like shopping was starting to really change. Shopping malls weren't the same. Walmart had taken over a lot of the same stuff that Sears did. And, Sears was never where you went for a lot of the big brand names, and the only and they were good for some things, but then they got beat out by the Best Buys and the Circuit Cities and, the Home Depots, and just they ditched their catalog in the early 90s because they just, people even then were changing the way they shopped. So it was definitely like 70s, 80s for sure. But yeah, there is more for your life at Sears. And just one other, because I have to address this, to complete the trilogy. So we had Cheryl Tiegs, aimed at women. We had Yvonne Goolagong, also aimed at women. And for men, we had Arnold Palmer. Now, Arnold Palmer, was great for grandpa, but it was a little stodgy for like the yuppies. So they were also touting something called Boston Athletic Club, which was like maybe a precursor to Dockers. So, casual business wear, some athleisure type wear, whatever, but, very Dockers style. And
Dockers.
So they would Boston Athletic Club at Sears. Cut to 3 male models, one of whom is dressed in casual business wear, long sleeve blue shirt, khaki pants, loafers. One of them's dressed like he's ready for tennis at the country club, and the others looks like he's dressed for, golf. And they're sprinting through the desert with the dude in the khakis and the blue Oxford button down in the lead, Boston Athletic Club.
Again, we will include the links to all of these.
This is why nobody points to Arnie Palmer and the men's line as helping to turn Sears around. It was all on Christy Brinkley. No, she came later. Cheryl Tiegs, well-dressed body, shoulders.
So, Arnold Palmer, I would assume I think it was just because he wasn't as breezy. I think that's the vibe I got from those ads with Cheryl Tiegs. Like, there's the one where
they're very breezy.
Like, they're very, oh God, so breezy. I don't even know. It's like
everything is like sunny and like 78 degrees.
She's juggling, and then she's playing bocce ball
Yeah, that's that weird montage where it's
Lazy,
like, here's
yeah.
Cheryl Tiegs in 3 really wacky, zany situations. And if we had time for a keyboard, bridge, we'd get that. Yeah. More for your life at Sears. Fun.
Well, I really want to make sure that I'm clear here. I do respect anyone who can strike that kind of an effect of breezy, relatable. There's a lot of relatable in that because I'm
Also,
watching
this
her.
was
Very
also kind of the
relatable.
80s. The 80s kind of had that vibe in some parts of pop culture where everything was breezy and sunny and 78 and relatable. I'm serious, really.
No, you're right. No, you're right. I mean,
Come on,
it was a good time.
Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley. There was a breeziness to it. Anything on NBC, Comedy Hour, it was a breezy time.
It was a good time to be white. Then again,
It was Morning
like
America.
it's always a good time to be white, if you catch my drift. Political hashtag. Um, yeah.
Anyhow, back to Sears.
But back to Sears. But let's talk about Yvonne Goolagong a little bit.
Oh my gosh! So
I didn't realize she was doing this.
I didn't realize who she was at the time because, of course, I'm young. And so I just thought she had a really interesting last name, which I suppose she does. But yeah, Australian Aboriginal background and was like one of the first female Grand Slam champions and like beat people like Martina Navratilova and Chris Everett, who I do remember vaguely. So again, Sears is like, we're going to go with Yvonne and velour and leaping into the air. And that's what makes these commercials so special. There is so much athleticism just in the bouncing and the leaping and the velour tracksuits.
Why did velour go out? What happened to velour?
It was gross. I mean, it did not wear well. It really didn't. And I mean, really, if you're going to be getting sweaty and shit, not velour. No, I'm with like the post-aughts, like synthetics.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she had a line of tracksuits.
Yeah, I mean, they looked like they were having fun in the ads. Like I said, leaping and stuff. You didn't see Cheryl Tiegs leaping into the air.
Cheryl Tiegs doesn't strike me as a velour.
Arnie Palmer also did not leap into the air, but that would have been funny as hell.
Oh, like the Sears Justice League.
Right.
League,
Parallel.
Each of them, they all have their own little special range of items that they're selling. There was something I was going to have, God, and of course I've forgotten to bring it up, what it was. So we were talking about that. I don't know. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head here, other than we need to include at least one audio clip of one of these ads because I think it really does capture the breeziness.
Well, I say anyone belongs with Cheryl Tiegs, maybe the one with the white pants or
white pants. Yeah, white pants.
Okay, I'll leave that to you, but we'll insert it right here, and it goes kind of like this.
Ooh, that's chic and oh so sleek. Isn't that Cheryl? It's gotta be Cheryl Tiegs. Ooh, that's all a beautiful style. Isn't that Cheryl? It's gotta be Cheryl Tiegs. Ooh, that's it. Ooh, that's it. Isn't that Cheryl?
Bet your bottom dollar. The fit says it's got to be Cheryl Tiegs. The value says it's got to be Sears.
The Cheryl Tiegs collection. Jeans start at $20.
It's gotta be Cheryl Tiegs.
And that was our childhood.
Oh, yeah, that was our childhood. Yeah, that was what I was going to say. It's like, so like, it was such that era. That was really when, the 80s. I think that was really when you would see all these like real. That was when designer jeans became a thing.
Oh yes.
Oh my God. Did you have a pair?
No, I didn't have the money for that. I usually ended up getting my designer jeans from J.C. Penney's. But no, I did not get any of that. But yes, so people like the Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, the Calvin Klein jeans.
Jordache.
Jordache, thank you.
Jordache.
Thank you.
That was the quintessential one, I think.
Wear them with your
oh God.
Wear them with your white Reeboks.
Or your Nike Cortez.
Yeah, whatever.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And then
that was a weird time.
Jeans, then, the Stonewash begat the acid wash, begat the Blitz washed and all those washes. But yeah, Jordache jeans. I never had a pair of those. I was just not cool like that. How about you?
I might have, but I was a chubby boy, so I wasn't, fitting in that.
Oh no,
and
I was a Levi's 550 sort of guy when I discovered those things.
But that was really when I think the materialism of like fashion, that was like when it really was like, because I feel like the decade before we could get away with a polyester jumpsuit. Yeah, we were rocking the polyester jumpsuit.
Well, it was that, and it was that weird thing where it's like they mainly distinguished themselves by the pocket design.
Yeah.
Which by today's standards are pretty tame, but at the same time, yeah. And it's like, oh, I see the swan. She's got Gloria Vanderbilt jeans on. Oh, I see the horse's head, pony's head, whatever. That's Jordache jeans.
Status. She blinded me with status.
80s. It was the 80s.
All right. Well, I think this is a safe
place to get off this train. Yeah.
I think it's a safe place to get off this train. It got a little political. It's too much, but that's okay.
That's okay. We'll cut it out if we have to or are feeling guilty about it.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever you want to do, it's fine. So next week we have we're going to be getting into some other things. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I think it'll be worth your while. Want to thank everybody for all of the mail, all of the emails. We're trying to answer each and every one of you individually.
Well, that's because that's why this episode is delayed. It's because we care about you people. And just if we don't get through these letters and telegrams and emails, what's the point?
And we just want to apologize. We've had to donate some of the bouquets you've had delivered to us.
Yeah,
we've been taking them to various retirement communities just to brighten up their common areas.
Occasionally we just give them randomly. I mean, the reactions are priceless. Some people are amazed. Some people I had a guy pull a gun on me. That was kind of fun. But it's fun.
It's fun. Okay. Well, we're gonna signing off. Everybody have a lovely week. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, we'll see when we see you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.